Hello everyone, I'm just doing a quick reply to a comment here from Sarah Rose, and just quickly mention 40 years old, ASD, ARFID diagnosis, lifelong unhealthy relationship, gagging, retching, avoidance. I don't believe it's due to phobia around these foods. I feel a real sense of disgust and revulsion to certain foods, cannot bring them up to my mouth without gagging. It's not at all because I think they're going to make me sick. It's because I'm expecting the taste, smell, or texture to be too intense and overwhelming. I feel it's a nervous system reaction due to heightened senses, common for people with ASD, true, rather than a phobia. I get a physical shock, akin to being slightly electrocuted as certain foods hit my sense, especially my taste buds. I hypothesise that for people with ASD and not a food phobia, it's not a food phobia, rather sensory nervous system reaction. What are your thoughts? Sorry to sound like a cop-out, but we're both right. There's elements of truth. The truth can be big and complex and have seemingly conflicting things. So here's some thoughts on that. Absolutely, there can be a sensory processing element towards something, and absolutely autistic people can have more of that and also have more fears around new things like that and be more... So here's the thing. The phobic aspect involved in this. Now, phobia isn't just a fear of something, it's also revulsion and disgust. So if you have other phobias of insects and stuff, people are not necessarily afraid of them, they're disgusted by them, they're revolted, or, you know, you see something, you feel like throwing, you're not scared of it, but the subconscious mind thinks, this is scary, it's threatening, because it might be diseased. So if I've ingested that in any way, I should throw up, you know. If you work in the police department and you see, you know, a dead corpse, the corpse isn't going to attack you. So why are people throwing up at the smell? Because the subconscious mind goes, oh God, that smells awful. Just in case I've ingested something harmful, that could be, you know, disease, I should throw up just to be safe. You know, that is a phobic response in a way. So what I'm saying is that this is the role of fear. I suspect in your case, and people in many situations, you do have genuine sensory processing issues with food, but here's where it gets tricky. That fear can inflate those senses even more. Because if I'm afraid of something, my brain says, I can't cope with that. That's a bad experience. What does my subconscious mind do? It turns up the vigilance and alert level. I'm on heightened alert for it, yeah? But if I'm on heightened vigil for it, I experience that feeling more. So one example I give is, you know, if you're in a dark room and you can't see, but you hear the sounds of little claws somewhere, what's your mind going to do to compensate? It's going to turn up your hearing and olfactory senses, sense of smell and, you know, proprioception, everything. It's going to turn up all the other senses to compensate because it thinks you're under attack. So you imagine people with ARFID, if they think food out there is out to get me, it's going to be awful, the mind is this thing, I better turn up the radar, you know? And is there a bit of onion now? I think there's some onion now. You know, they're like little sharks that can detect one bit of onion in a, you know, like 1 liter of tomato sauce or something like that. But that's fear doing it as well. So there's a cause and effect confusion between what's actually, you know, independent of me and what is my fears amplifying that sensation, making me alert and intensifying the experience so I feel it more intensely. So what I do in cases like this, I say, the more we can deflate the background fear, the less intense the experiences will be. Now, for some people, it is a spectrum. Some people get 100% change with this. Some people who have sensory processing will get a big relief, 20, 30, 40% better, but they still have, or more, but they still have some background things that tastes different. So for example, my son is actually quite sensory processing, hypermobile. There is a big correlation between double jointedness, hypermobility and sensory processing, and he definitely experiences life more intensely than the rest of us. I remember, excuse me, as a baby, there was a bath, and I draw him a bath, and he'd be, oh, it's too hot. And I'm like, really? You know, it feels kind of tepid to me. Oh, it feels a bit itchy. That was it? I thought it was quite smooth. So bless him, he was having restricted eater when he was younger, but he is branching out and eating more and more food. So he'll definitely try foods now because, you know, everything we've said to him, but he has a lower success rate. He'll try and go, no, that's a bit this, that, a bit that. He's not scared or anything, but tastes are more intense or whatever they may be for him. So, you know, it's a bit of a shame that he'll never quite have the full range like the rest of us, but his range is good enough. You know, he's certainly healthy and you can still operate. And sometimes, you know, that would be a good result as well for people. So I hope this answers your question. If you have any comments, let me know. But the point is that there's rarely a purely biological or a purely fear spectrum. Things combine and intertwine and influence each other. And I've found that fear plays a role to some degree in everything. Even if biology is the majority, there's still 10-20% fear. And even making that better is some kind of beneficial outcome. So thanks for listening.